All right. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this morning. On behalf of Contact North, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's webinar, How to Help Your Students Use AI Pathfinder Pro and AI Trades Explorer Pro to find personalized education and training pathways leading to a rewarding job, a promotion, or a career. Wow, that's a long title. I was just saying, I think that breaks the record for our longest webinar title. It's very descriptive. My name is Sarah Goverill. I'm the Director of Teach Online and the online learning news here at Contact North, and I'll be moderating your session today. Before we begin, I'd like to start with our provincial land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that Contact North's work and the work of our community partners takes place on traditional Indigenous territories across the province. We are grateful to be able to live and work on these lands. We express our gratitude to the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have cared for these territories since time immemorial and who continue to strengthen communities across Ontario. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. We're using Zoom webinar today, so participants' microphones and cameras will remain off. The chat is open, as you see, but please remember to select everyone in the drop-down menu when you're posting. We have, and if you have questions, kindly use the Q&A tool. You can find that at the bottom of your screen, and there will be times during the webinar where we will address these questions. You can also upvote any questions that resonate with you by clicking on the thumbs up icon. Live captioning is available. To activate it, simply click on the closed caption icon at the bottom of your screen. And after the webinar, I will post the recording and presentation slides on teachonline.ca. I'll share that chat, that link in the chat momentarily. And also the Zoom system will send out the link to the recording in 24 hours. So exactly at this time tomorrow, you'll get that as well. All right, that's enough from me. On to our main event. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, my colleague, Michael La Riviere, Technology Lead of AI Integration in Higher Education at Contact North, Contact North. Welcome, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you here today, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, Sarah, and thank you for nailing that webinar title. It certainly is a long one. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending on where you are. We're very excited to have you join us today for this interactive session. So, like Sarah said, my name is Michael La Riviere. I'm Technology Lead for AI Integration in Higher Education at Contact North. And today we are going to be diving into a specific part of the artificial intelligence world in the form of two custom AI tools that Contact North has developed. So both AI Pathfinder Pro and AI Trades Explorer Pro are very similar in how they function, in the essence that they are programmed to act as interactive career counselors with a wealth of almost limitless knowledge. However, they do have key differences, which I will be highlighting as we move through the session. Most notably is that AI Pathfinder Pro is focused on all jobs in all industries across Canada, and AI Trades Explorer Pro is focused strictly on the trades in Ontario. So those are the big differences. As a brief background, we at, excuse me, we at Contact North started our work in AI about a year and a half ago when ChatGPT went viral and filled up the news feeds just about everywhere. When artificial intelligence in the form of large language models went mainstream, you could tell that things were about to change, and they were going to change quickly. From colleagues in the industry, we all understood that this was not going to be a slow burn. And if you weren't joining in and trying to be a part of this new AI world, you were going to be left behind, watching from the sidelines. So, in terms of education, we saw this amazing potential that AI and large language models had for revolutionizing learning and teaching, and wanted to see how we could leverage this groundbreaking technology to enhance the learning and the teaching experience not just in Canada, not just in Ontario, but worldwide. So currently we have 4 tools that are available to the public. They're all 100% free of charge. They're fully available in both English and French. So 3 of these tools are learner focused, 2 of which I'm demonstrating today. So AI Pathfinder Pro, AI Trades Explorer Pro, and then our tutor, which is AI Tutor Pro. And then we have the faculty focused tool, which is AI Teaching Assistant Pro. And we actually just celebrated the 1 year anniversary of AI Tutor Pro. So that's been a nice milestone to hit with over 1 million interactions to date. So that's pretty awesome. So with all of our tools, and not just the 2 that I'm going to be showing to you, we have some key priorities when it comes to the design and the development of these tools. And there's 3 of them that I'm going to highlight. So one is equitable and inclusive access. And one of the most exciting things about AI Pathfinder Pro and AI Trades Explorer Pro is that they're designed to be equitable and inclusive. We believe that these education and career tools should be available to everyone, regardless of background or language or ability. And this, of course, includes cost. So we don't really want that to be a barrier to access. So all of our tools are, again, 100% free. There's no hidden costs, no fees, which ensures that we meet our commitments to equitable access. And then accessibility is also a core component. And this is not an afterthought, and it's a part of the foundational design. So we consider various users' needs from the very start. And we also offer our tools with multilingual support so that diverse populations can utilize them. Next is privacy and confidentiality. This is a big thing. So we ensure that all users can access our tools knowing that their privacy and their confidentiality is maintained. All data is kept private. And I invite you to visit any of our tools and view our privacy policy, which is in the footer of each of the websites, which goes into more detail on this. So we never ask for logins, we never ask for personal information, and we we often discourage users from accidentally entering in personal information. So, users can easily access all of our tools without sharing their identity or having to sign up for anything. This is especially important for educators and learners who may have privacy concerns or be cautious about online data usage, which is important. So, also very key to note is that none of the data that's entered is used for AI training. All of the interactions with these tools stay private and they aren't repurposed for general AI development of the large language models. We want the user to feel confident that what they share stays with them and the tool. And then finally, a key focus is immediate results and easy to use formats. So it's key that users receive immediate results and something that's easy to understand without having to click around. We want to remove the guesswork and create a high value experience for our users, which is something that we strive to maintain. So, with that, I'll just quickly run through the agenda. So, um, I've broken this up into 6 parts here. So we have the introduction and overview, which we're going through now. And then next will be the demo of AI Pathfinder Pro, where we're going to find out how to find jobs that are most demand in a region, what a job pays, the training and education options, where to take that training or education, and then some new career opportunities. We'll follow up with a question and answer session. And then we'll move on to Trades Explorer Pro. And we're going to go through very similar things with AI Pathfinder, but highlight the fact that they are in fact focused on the trades. And then we'll move to a question and answer session. And then we'll go to what's next for some new and exciting features that we're going to be implementing into both of these tools. So to start it off, we'll just dive right into AI Pathfinder Pro. Excuse me. So this can easily be accessed by going to aipathfinderpro.ca on any computer, any laptop, mobile phone, tablet, really any device that has a web browser. This tool is not resource intensive, so almost any device should be able to access it without issue, new or old. So when users first land on the page here, you're going to see a variety of information and data. Aside from some information pages, which you can find in the footer at the very bottom, which I'm not going to go through, but this is essentially a one-page tool. So it's simple, it's straightforward, and there's no need to click around to get a user to where they need to be. Let's just get them right into into the interaction. So looking at the landing page, right at the top, we have our interactions data. So to date, AI Pathfinder Pro, which is specific only to Canada, um, Canada, has amassed 13,000 interactions, and we've only had this launch since the summer with no specific promotion. It's all been organic growth. So we've received some great feedback, and we to this number actually increasing. Um, so next, what you'll see is what users can get from the tool. So explore education and training opportunities for a rewarding job or promotion. And you can talk to the AI chatbot about, again, the jobs that are most in demand, training and education, salaries, and then new career opportunities. So I also highlight here that the tools are free, private, and confidential. We want users to feel confident when using them and also know that they don't have to pay anything. And then I also have, we have an AI avatar video here, which has some pretty impressive technology behind it. So I invite you to watch it. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to play it, but it explains some of the benefits and possibilities that users can get from the tool. So to get things started, user simply just clicks the start button and it begins the interaction. And as the window loads, the first thing you're going to notice right at the top here is for safety and privacy, please do not enter any personal or identifiable interact or information into the chatbot. And if a user does try to do this, the chatbot's going to warn them that they can't process this and they shouldn't do that. So we try to reinforce that as much as possible. Now, the AI is programmed to be friendly and approachable and interactive in the sense that it doesn't just answer questions in a yes or no fashion. It will try to continue the dialogue with the user, and it'll provide follow-up suggestions or additional questions after it provides a response. And it could possibly be ones that the user didn't think of beforehand, but it could provide value based on the context. So to start, we're being asked, hello, how can I assist you with planning for your post-secondary education or career? Do you have a specific job or career in mind, or are you looking for information on educational programs in a particular province or city? So let's start by finding out what jobs are most in demand in a specific city. And this applies to any type of job in any city in Canada. So let's type in demand jobs in, let's, Ottawa. So the AI is going to do its thing, and it's going to start streaming in the response, and then it snaps it into place, and it's showing us that in Ottawa, several job sectors are currently in demand. Here's a list of in-demand jobs you might consider. So we have some jobs in IT, healthcare, from registered nurses to PSWs. There's skilled trades, public sector roles, education professionals, and then sales and marketing. And like I said, the AI is always, it's not just a one and done. It's always going to follow up and try to continue on the interaction. So we have the follow-up question. If you're interested in a specific field, I can provide information on relevant educational programs in Ottawa. Would you like to explore that? So let's pick one of these from the list. We'll just pick it right from the top, software developers, um, and say, tell me about training and education for software developers. So the AI is going to do its thing for a second there. It's going to start streaming in the response, and it snaps it into place. And we can see here that we have various training and education options for software development, from degree programs to diploma programs to boot camps and short courses. So just quickly, computer or bachelor of computer science, there's software engineering, computer programming, and software development. So that all lines up with actually being a software developer. And let's see what the follow-up is. Would you like more detailed information about any specific program or institution? So let's ask about, well, we have computer programming here. So let's ask, where are courses offered for computer programming languages? And the AI is going to do its thing for a second, and it will spit out a response to us. So remembering that we did ask about Ottawa, so it's keeping with that line of discussion. So in Ottawa, several institutions offer courses in computer programming languages. So colleges, and it's pointing out Algonquin College with a brief intro or brief background, Cambrian College, and then university or online options because it is in Sudbury, and then universities is University of Ottawa, and then Carleton University, and of course, continuing education and community programs from Ottawa Public Library. And then we have our follow-up. Would you like more information about specific courses or details? So let's pick one of these colleges and ask a question. So we'll take the one right from the top. More information on Algonquin College. And don't be afraid to make mistakes when you're typing. Any grammar or spelling mistakes, it'll be able to figure out what you're trying to get at. So coming back, it is then giving us some information on Algonquin College. So it's a well-known institution located in Ottawa, and it has some programs in computer programming. So a diploma in computer programming, software diploma, software development diploma. We have a duration that it's outlining for both, and as well as a focus. And then it's giving us some additional information such as the facilities, some co-op opportunities, and then the location. We get some admission requirements and then support services. So we can drill down on any of these items it's providing us and to get some more information. So like we're treating this as if it's a career counselor and is trying to be as close as to a human interaction as possible. So let's ask some more information on admission requirements. And the AI is just going to do its thing really quickly, streams the response in, and then it snaps it into place. So the admission requirements for Algonquin College vary depending on the specific program, but here are some general requirements for computer programming and software development. And like I said, it's always remembering what has been asked before and the information it's provided before. So it's never just going to tell us general things about Algonquin College or whatever we're asking it about. So we can see here we have some general admission requirements from high school diploma, course prerequisites, mathematics and computer science, language proficiency, excuse me. Then the application process gives us 3 steps there, from the online application to the document submission and deadlines, and then some additional consideration, and it highlights some items about mature students. So it does have a piece here where it's always best to check the specific program page on Algonquin's college's website for the most accurate and detailed requirements, because things do change and it's best to verify that data. And would you like to know more about a specific program or any other topic related to Algonquin College? So let's ask one of those questions that is always important to individuals when they're job seeking or seeking out careers. What do software developers get paid? Now, we don't need to respond directly to the follow-up question from the AI or from the suggestion. We can, excuse me, ask whatever we want. And if you want to start branching off to something more specific, feel free. So, what do software developers get paid? In Ottawa, the salary for software developers can vary based on experience, specialization, and specific employer. So it's giving us a salary range from entry level, mid level, and senior level positions, some factors that influence those salaries, experience, industry, and skills. And then benefits. So, in addition to base salary, many software developers receive benefits such as health insurance, retirement plans, and so on. And then we have the follow-up suggestion or question. If you'd like more information or have other questions regarding software development field, feel free to ask. So that's great. In a very short time, and I wasn't really timing it there, but with minimal effort, users have been able to learn several key things, such as what jobs are most in demand in a specific region, and in this case, Ottawa, the training and education for a specific job, where they can take that training for that job, and then salary range with some more details. And all it took was a few questions to the personal digital assistant. It was simple. It was straight to the point. There was no guesswork. And if a user ever does get stuck, the helpful AI is always going to keep following up with them so that they can continue on the conversation with that friendly and interactive manner. So, as I said, this tool is available, or it does have a focus all across Canada. So if we move beyond Ottawa and we can throw ourselves to the other side of the country, let's ask what programs or courses are available in Vancouver? And because it has remembered our conversation from previous, it's not just focusing on general information from Vancouver. We have various programs and courses for software developers and computer programmers. So we have two colleges that are listed here, BCIT and VCC. And then universities, we have University of British Columbia and Simon Fraser. And then some continuing education and boot camp opportunities such as Red Academy and Brain Station. And then, of course, the follow-up. So would you like more detailed, or would you like detailed information on any specific program or institution in Vancouver? So let's ask more information about SFU. And of course, it's going to give us a comprehensive outline of specifics about SFU from programs in computer science, and it's listing 3 here, and then some key features about those programs, as well as a brief bit about admission requirements, and then even something about campus life. So um, I want to show you something here, and this doesn't just apply to Vancouver, it applies to any town or city in Ontario or otherwise. So if we want to know about, say, other institutions in the province that offer similar programs. Let's find them out. Uh, in so, what other colleges or universities in BC are there that offer this type of education? And if we were talking about Ontario, we could ask about Ontario. If we're talking about PEI, we could do the same. So it streams in the response and then it snaps it into place. So in BC, several colleges and universities offer programs related to computer programming and software development. So it is listing BCIT and VCC as well, which is fine. And then we have Kowalton Polytechnic University, Camosun College, and then these two are already listed. We have Thompson Rivers University and then University of Victoria, and then some other learning institutions such as Langara College and North Island College. Okay, so and then the follow-up, if you need information on specific programs, admission requirements, or any other aspects of these institutions, feel free to ask. Okay, so that's great. The AI always wants to keep the conversation moving, and it's posed that follow-up suggestion or question. Um, so what I'd like to do with from here is find out if now we could start a new chat or we can just branch off of from where we are currently. Is if you're currently a software developer, but you want to become something a little bit different. So as mentioned before, we don't need to respond to the follow up or the suggestion from the AI. We can just ask something completely different. So let's ask, are there any new career opportunities for software developers? That's what we were talking about. And this response streams in, and then it will snap into place. This is a long one. So there are several emerging career opportunities. I'm not surprised to see this one right at the top. So artificial intelligence and machine learning, from cloud computing, cybersecurity, mobile app development, game development, blockchain development, and so on. And then it has a little bit at the end. To remain competitive in these evolving fields, software developers should consider pursuing additional training, certifications, or courses relevant in those areas. So and we can keep going with this. Like you can ask, tell me more about blockchain development, and it will start diving into that. It's essentially endless. You can keep going, or you can close off the conversation if you get what you need. So, um, basically, to summarize, a user was quickly and easily able to do the following. They could find out what jobs were most in demand in any region in Canada, so Ottawa or Vancouver, about the education and training options. We discovered where you can actually take those specific education and training options. You can drill down and get more details. Um, and we figured out salary ranges for specific jobs. So, um, oh, sorry, and also, of course, the new career opportunities if you're already in that job and you want to go to something else. So, it was really just done with a simple conversation. It was consisted of a few taps on the keyboard. We didn't make a user bounce around from website to website trying to piece all this data together. It saves time, it saves effort, it provides a stress-free experience to get the user what they want quickly and easily. So to close off this demonstration here, and you don't have to do this, but I always get a kick out of the response. I'll just say to the AI, thanks for your help. And it's programmed again to be friendly and approachable. And so you're welcome. If you have any more questions in the future about post-secondary education or career planning, feel free to reach out. Good luck with your education and career journey. Have a great day. So that's great. It'll let us know that it's available all the time if we want, and it wishes us luck in on our career journey. So with that, before I move to the other demonstration, I'll open the floor to any questions or comments.
Thanks for the demonstration, Michael. There's one question currently in the Q&A, and it states, I'm curious about the design and back end. Do you use a specific programming language? Is it based on Chat GPT in the background, or does it work differently?
So a combination of all of those things. So we use a few different programming languages um, to make this happen in a user-friendly front end. So there's Java, there's Python. We're using PHP as well as some other custom solutions. We also use API access to OpenAI's Chat GPT models to facilitate this. Um, and then, of course, there's styling, so HTML and CSS to make it all look beautiful. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
All right, well, that's all I have. Oh, okay. Something just popped up in the chat. How does this differ from having a chat with ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot?
So we skip a lot of steps that would be needed to get here. And this comes from a very, very extensive prompt and series of prompts that are implemented in between when the responses and questions go to the AI. So you could do this with something like Copilot or ChatGPT. You would have to have a very specific prompt to make it happen, and we are constantly refining this to make it give responses that are accurate and actually have value. So you could create a custom GPT to do it. It's the legwork of all of the custom prompt which we're allowing users to skip.
Okay, I have another question here from Gregory. The ministry wants labor market data for regional jobs when planning to launch a new program to show demand for grads. Where is the tool getting its data and how recent is it?
So there's a combination of where the tool gets its data. It gets its data from LLM training data from ChatGPT, and we also have a knowledge base that operates in the back end to fill in some of the gaps. So that is data that we harvest and put in ourselves as well.
Hey, do you have time for any other questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, is the database exclusive from other big models? What is the advantage over other AI models?
So the data isn't necessarily exclusive, as anybody can actually access it. Where it does become a little more exclusive is from the custom data that we put into the back end. So we're constantly testing these. We're constantly seeking out responses from it to see where and if there are any gaps. And if there are, we fill them in and ensure that it's an all-around experience in the responses that it gives.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I just encourage participants, if you do have questions, please do put them in the Q&A versus the chat so I don't miss them. Thanks.
Okay. Great. Thank you for the questions and comments. Okay, so we can move into AI Trades Explorer Pro. So, just like AI Pathfinder Pro, a user can access it by opening any web browser and going to AITradesExplorerPro.ca. So, when a user first lands on the page, you're going to notice some key things here. And first, it's the theme. So, all of our tools adhere to the same style theme, promoting that uniform aspect for the AI Pro series. The next thing you'll see is the interactions figure at the top. So, far to date, we have 12,000 interactions, and keeping in mind that we launched this in the summer, and it's only specific to the province of Ontario, and it's only specific to the trades. So, as mentioned before, this tool and the previous one are very similar, but the biggest difference is just that Pathfinder Pro is across Canada and all industries and all jobs, and AI Trades Explorer Pro is only in Ontario, and it's only specific to the trades. So just like before, you're going to notice that we highlight it is private and confidential, and then we have the tool's purpose, so discover education, training, and career opportunities in the trades. So it's anytime, anywhere, and all of our tools, they are 100% free, and they're available 24/7. It's all at your fingertips. So we also have an introduction video like our previous, well, all of our tools have them. And you'll see that very fittingly, our AI avatar is wearing a hard hat. So I invite you to please take some time to view that intro video if you get a chance. The technology behind it is, behind the production is quite impressive to say the least. So to get things going, when a user clicks start, you're going to notice again, we have the important notice at the top. So for your safety and privacy, please do not enter in any personal or identifiable information. And then we have our opening question. So hello, it is great to connect with you. What training programs or trades are you interested in exploring? So let's get this going, and let's kind of use the same process as before. So we're going to pick a city in Ontario. So what are the in-demand jobs in Niagara Falls? So the AI is going to do its thing, and then it's going to come back to us with some in-demand skilled trade jobs. So it's general carpenter, plumber, electrician, HVAC, and welder. These jobs often have strong job prospects due to ongoing developments and maintenance needs in the area. Are you interested in any specific trade, or would you like more information about a particular one? Okay, so let's just dive a little bit deeper here and tell me about training programs for each. So AI does its thinking, and then it comes back to us, streams in the response, and then it snaps into place. And here's an overview of training programs. So general carpenter, it tells us about the training, the hours, and programs. So plumbers get the training and programs. Electrician, same thing. And then we have some details for HVAC and then welder. So if you're interested in a specific trade, I can help you find more information about a particular training program at public colleges. Let me know. I should also point out too, one thing for accessibility, we do have this speaker icon here. So if a user clicks on this, it will actually read off, and I'm not going to click on it. Just I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it through the webinar, but if they click on the read aloud button, it'll read everything that's on the screen there. So that's just to promote accessibility aspect. So um, we have a high level overview of these in-demand 5 trades here. So let's just keep it moving forward, and let's narrow in on, let's pick plumber here. So let's ask that important question for job seekers and otherwise, what do plumbers get paid? And let's figure out some salary expectations. Okay, so plumbers in Ontario can expect to earn competitive salaries on average from entry level from 20 to 25, and then experienced plumbers can earn 30 to $40 per hour or more, depending on skills, location, and type of work. Keep in mind that wages can vary based on factors, certification, experience, self-employment, or working for a company. Would you like to know more about educational requirements or options for plumbers? Okay. So let's pick out something from its question. So let's ask about educational requirements. And the response streams in, and then it snaps into place. So to become a plumber in Ontario, you generally need to meet the following educational requirements. So high school diploma, and then apprenticeship program, which consists of on-the-job training of just over 8,000 hours, and then in school of 720, and then certification. So after completing your apprenticeship, you may choose to write the certificate of qualification exam to become a licensed plumber. Would you like more details on finding apprenticeship opportunities or training programs? So this is the nice thing about these tools, and this is very short time and very simple steps. We found out the trades that are most in demand in Niagara Falls. We got a high level overview of the training involved for these in demand jobs. We figured out the salary range. Um, and we understood the basics of the educational requirements, and it was simple, it was quick, it was straight to the point, and users don't need to click around. And we removed some guesswork, and we gave them some information that they can start with and expand on into different areas and different websites if they want to, or they can, if this is what they need, then that's great. So let's keep moving here. It's asking if we want some more assistance. So let's just do that. So tell me about specific colleges. And I don't need to say, tell me about specific colleges for plumbing. It's going to remember what we were talking about and give us a response. So here are a few public colleges in Ontario that offer plumbing training. So Niagara College has plumbing techniques. There's George Brown, Mohawk features a plumbing program, and then Humber College offers a range of programs related to plumbing and skills development. If you're interested in any of these colleges, I can help you find information on specific programs or courses they offer. Would that be helpful? Okay, so now, let's say a user wants to get some more information about one of these. Let's ask it about George Brown College. And I'm not going to put more information. I'm not going to say, provide me with this from George Brown. Let's just see what it gives us when we type in George Brown College. So George Brown offers several programs related to plumbing. So we have plumbing techniques, plumbing apprenticeship, and it typically has modern facilities and experienced instructors to help students develop their skills. Would you like details on admission requirements for these programs, or is there anything else you would like to know? So let's keep the flow going with the AI and get some more details on admission requirements. Okay, so for admission to plumbing George Brown, you need a high school diploma, English proficiency, and then some additional requirements. Some programs may have specific requirements, prerequisites. Best to check the program details. And then age requirements, you typically need to be at least 18 years old to qualify for apprenticeship programs. So and I like this part, is it's always a good idea to consult the college's official website or contact their admissions office to get the most accurate and up-to-date information, because things can change pretty quickly. And then would you like me to look up more information on any other colleges? Uh, okay, so let's say the same thing as we did with Pathfinder. Let's say we're already a plumber, but we want to seek out something new. We want to branch off into something close to plumbing, but not necessarily the same thing. So, um, what type of new career opportunities? You know what? Let's leave a couple typos in there. Are there for plumbers? Like I said, grammar and spelling does not need to be perfect. It will always be able to interpret what you're saying. And then it gives us some uh, new career opportunities for plumbers. So residential, there's commercial, service plumber, plumbing contractor, specialty plumbing, instructor or training, and then project manager. So would you like to know more about how to pursue any of these specific career paths? Um, okay, so as you can see, this interaction can continue on almost indefinitely. It can go in any direction the user wants it to, with some simple questions and responses, which creates for almost a limitless wealth of data and knowledge specific to the tool's programming. So let's pick one here. For example, commercial plum. And you know what? Leave that in there. Commercial plumber, commercial plumber. and then streams in the response, and it gives us an overview. So we have a commercial plumber specializes in working on plumbing systems, office buildings, restaurants, hospitals, and industrial facilities. And then here's some responsibilities such as installation, maintenance, repairs, and then compliance. And then we have some of the skills required, so technical skills, problem solving, and then physical stamina, so may require heavy lifting materials and working in challenging conditions. And then a brief bit about a career outlook. So, strong demand for commercial plumbers continues as businesses grow and require maintenance on their plumbing system. And then, of course, the AI ends that response with a follow up suggestion or question. So, if you're considering a career as a commercial plumber or want to know more about necessary training and certification, um, just let me know. So, like I said, it can go on indefinitely. You can keep asking it questions. You can, for the sake of just not repeating myself, I'll stop asking it questions. But if you want to branch off into something more specific, you can. Or if you want to change the subject and just go and start asking about electrical or HVAC, users can do that as well. And it's done. It's quickly. It's easily. It's minimal effort. We've discovered trades that were in demand in a specific area, the training and education for that trade, where users can take the training and education, salaries, of course, and then we've even figured out some additional careers for someone who is interested in a specific trade that they can branch off into. And again, it's removing the guesswork. We made it easy for the users so they don't have to bounce around several different data resources to get the information they're seeking, and it's done in an interactive way. Trying to mimic that human career counselor experience. So there was one item I didn't mention previously, but it's available on all of our tools. And if a user wants to save this information for later, they can click copy icon here, and it'll copy it to the clipboard of the computer or the device. And then you can load up your favorite word processor and paste that in. And this is done because um, our priority of privacy and confidentiality, we don't ask for the logins or the signups. So one of the most universal ways of getting text data from one place to another is just copying and pasting. So we implemented that for users, and they don't have to highlight anything and copy it. So um, that one's a little quicker, but it does cover a bunch of the things that AI Pathfinder Pro covers. So that wraps up both of those demonstrations. I'd be happy to take any additional questions on this demo, or if there's any more for AI Pathfinder, Pathfinder Pro.
Thank you, Michael. There's one question in the queue. Are these two AI tools more like a Pathfinder rather than a job hunter?
Yes, that's correct. It acts more as a Pathfinder, as a career counselor, rather than a job hunter.
Okay. And also, um, there's another question. Can I find some electrician courses not exclusive for citizens or permanent residents?
Yeah, certainly. I invite you to give it a shot and ask. It should be able to provide you. It's not really limited into what types of courses or programs it offers. It just focuses on institutions in those regions.
Okay, that's all I see for now.
Okay, great. So thank you for the questions. And going into number 6 here. So just what's next? Now, these are a few of the exciting things that we're as we close out 2024, move into 2025 that we have planned for both these tools. So first one, sample questions, and then skills gap identification. And then the big one that I'm really excited about is voice interaction. So if you're familiar with using AI chatbots, you may have noticed that it's a common trend to have sample or starter questions that get the conversation going. So these are helpful if it's for a user that's just kicking the tires of the tool, or they don't really know where to start and they need a bit of help. So what the plan will be is when users first load up the tool, the sample questions are going to appear right above the message box here where I'm circling my cursor. We're going to put 3 of them in. So when a user clicks on that sample question, it'll load the text field below it and automatically send it right to the AI. So these can be questions. We haven't really decided what we're going to put in there yet, but it could be questions such as the ones we're asking today of high demand jobs in specific areas or salaries of specific trades and so on. We'll also look at very popular queries that we see that are asked, and we could choose to use those to simulate the sample questions. And then as well, we'll be able to rotate these questions based on specific trends or needs that we see. Um, and then the second feature that we're going to implement is skills gap identification. So this is a feature that would be very useful for helping the user understand what it would take to jump from one career to another. Maybe not so much branch out into a new career opportunity, but say going from welder to web designer kind of thing. So this feature is going to ask the user a number of qualifying questions and then identify the specific steps that they need to take to achieve that dream job or that dream career and make the big jump into something new and exciting. Um, and then, so we're currently in the process of testing that and refining it and hoping to roll it out sometime in the new year. And then finally, voice interactions. This is the one I'm really excited about. So this functionality was just recently released to developers, and we started on working on an implementation strategy for how we design and develop this into our current offerings. It's a bit complicated, but that's the exciting part. So this feature is going to provide users with an instant human-like interaction that is strictly done by voice. So this is going to improve accessibility to the users from all walks of life, and it also gives our tools that authentic human touch that is not possible with text on a screen, and I feel that's important. Um, and then finally, I want to plug my colleague, Dr. Ron Austin here. He has a webinar coming up in December where he will be demonstrating current and new features of one of our other tools called AI Teaching Assistant Pro. So please, I invite you to check out our webinar page at teachonline.ca/webinars for more info and to register. And if you have any questions about any of the tools today after the session or any of our other tools, feel free to contact me directly. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Michael. We do have a couple questions here.
Sure.
We can have time for that. Um, one states, we are using InStage AI simulated bot for interviewing practice. Do you see this program moving in that direction?
It's something that we have discussed very briefly, but there's been no decisions made exactly on moving in that direction. But it is something that we have discussed.
Okay, and there's another question in the chat, and I know you have answered this before, but maybe just reiterate it for those who may have missed it. What are the main advantages of using AI Pathfinder compared to using ChatGPT?
So it's a great question, and again, I like answering this one because anybody can go into ChatGPT and replicate what we're doing, but there's a lot of work that gets done before that. So when you're going into ChatGPT, you're just having a general chatbot that's going to respond to you, but it's not told what to do, and it's not told how to respond to things, and it's not told where to get its information from, and that takes a lot of refining to get it right and to remove hallucinations or any incorrect information. So we're bridging that gap from users just loading up a chatbot to having it become that interactive career counselor. And that gap can be very, very large. Our prompts are well refined and they're very, very extensive.
Great, great. Thank you for that, Michael. Just doing one last look for questions or comments. Okay. If you think of anything after, if you're anybody like me who needs a minute to digest and then your questions come after, feel free to connect with Michael via email. Michael, do you want to put your email in the chat as well?
Yep, I can do that right now.
Perfect.
So that's Michael L. There's two L's in there at contactnorth.ca.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Well, if I don't have any other questions, we will we'll wrap up this session. So just wanted to give Michael, thank you for coming in today and for delivering such an insightful and practical webinar on AI Pathfinder Pro and AI Trades Explorer Pro. Really great demonstration. Lots of comments popping up in the chat there, also thanking you. And a big thank you to our participants for attending and for sharing your questions with us today. As a reminder, the recording to today's session and slides will be available on teachonline.ca under the webinar series tab, and they will also be emailed to you in 24 hours through the Zoom system, so keep an eye open for that. If you have any other questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to us. We appreciate your time and hope to see you at our next Contact North webinar. Thanks again and have a great day, everybody.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.